Welcome to episode 352 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning again.
Again, not today, but like we've done this before.
Like this isn't our first rodeo.
It is the first good morning of today, though.
It is the first good morning of today.
So that makes it a landmark episode.
The listeners should feel special, too, because I hardly ever say good morning to everybody. It's usually just morning. Because then when people say good morning to me, I always tell them, well, you're half right.
I'm not nearly as negative as you, though, so I don't do that.
That's true, you're not.
I usually don't say good morning. I usually don't even acknowledge anyone.
So does that really make you less negative than me, or could it be more?
When they say good morning, I'm like, well, good morning.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to initiate it, because if we could not talk, that'd be fine, too.
Okay.
So, I'm more of a finisher. I'm a strong closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I am none of those things.
It's my nickname growing up, the closer.
I am just a hermit who should just be left alone in his little cabin up in the woods
with high-speed internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. That's a problem with hermiting or off the grid. It's like, I like internet, though.
Right. And I like what it affords me.
Yeah. I like off the grid. Also, I like high-speed internet. So
right. I like off the grid and technology. So those don't go together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gerald's got the good morning Minecraft. Does that make you want to play Minecraft at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Not even a tiny bit.
All right. Producer Gerald in the house. I want to play Minecraft, but I'm really torn. We talked about it, about getting a Realm or just playing on PS4. And then we had Sony's, non-news
yes,
about the crossplay, like it's like a story, but it wasn't a story. So I'm really torn now because I feel like if everyone's open for crossplay that you'll see Realms on PS4, but then there's also a part of me that's like, should they even mess with that, doing all that if we know the PS5 and Scarlet and all that's right around the corner? I don't know. I don't know what's happening with...
I don't either.
I don't know if we should wait. I don't know if we wait a whole year, then nobody will want to play it. So I don't know. I'm just torn.
Well, I'm in a good place because I can wait the rest of my life and not be let down by it. So
yeah, I'm calling it the Decision 2019.
Because Minecraft is not my jam.
Mm-hmm. But you debated getting back into it playing on Switch.
I did debate it. I'm still probably leaning towards no.
Mm-hmm.
But shut up, dog.
The dog thinks you should get it.
Fuck the dog. The dog's an idiot.
Whoa, aggressive. PETA's going to come at us now.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. If you're listening, shout out to PETA.
Why? Because I called the dog an idiot?
Yeah.
Fuck PETA then. Fuck them too.
I just gave them a shout out. You can't fuck them now.
You do both.
I guess you could do both.
I can shout them out while I'm fucking them.
Yeah, I don't know if you can fuck an organization, but you could try.
You could, yeah.
I think that they do good things. I've never heard anyone say good things about PETA.
I think they're a little, I get the general sentiment of what they're going for, and I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a place for common sense, and there is a place for maybe demanding that your views are met. Yeah,
they're real upset with Justin Bieber right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a similar tone and path that you did. I think he might have actually said fuck PETA.
Well, that's the first time Justin Bieber and I have ever agreed on anything.
He bought 2 jungle cats or something.
Yeah. Like
Savannah jungle cats for $30,000 a piece, and PETA was like, you could have adopted 2 cats. He's like, not these 2.
I mean, literally, PETA, and producer Gerald actually has it up. This is just what I was going to talk about. They have a little chart to stop using anti-animal language. Instead of saying that classic old school saying, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, PETA says you should say, feed 2 birds with 1 scone.
They also don't want you to say be the guinea pig. They want you to say be the test tube.
Uh-huh.
No thanks.
And my least favorite one, bring home the bacon. It says bring home the bagels. I will take bacon over bagels every day, PETA.
If someone said bring home the bagels, I'd be like, what's your problem?
Right.
Also, beat a dead horse should be replaced with feed a fed horse.
That doesn't even make sense.
And everyone would think you were having a stroke if you were like, you can't feed a fed horse.
Instead of take the bull by the horns, you should take the flower by the thorns. Okay, number 1, that's a bad idea. And number 2, flowers are living beings too, PETA, so fuck you.
Number 3, we just discovered why people don't like PETA. Right there. That was easy. Gerald wants to know about the being hung like a horse. That's a compliment. So
that should be considered a compliment. I think Peter should be okay with that because it's not an indication of violence, which I guess is what they have a problem with. Based
on what I'm seeing here, they're pro horse dick.
They are?
I don't see anything that says anything different.
They're not. So, horse dick good, bring home the bacon bad.
I think you got to feed the fed horse is what we're saying. What kind of shit is this?
That doesn't even make fucking sense.
We're off to a bad start.
See, and that's my problem with Peter right there.
We're off to a terrible start.
I know. I hope this isn't a setting for how the rest of the episode's going to go.
Yeah, there's a chance this is the one that you want to skip. I'm going to throw that out there pretty early on. This might not be a good one. We accidentally got on PETA. Then we shit on the organization. There's a PETA podcast.
Not listening to that anytime soon. That's the one you should skip.
That rabbit has a set of Beats on or something. Had some earphones on.
Yep.
Or headphones.
They might be Beats.
No.
They're headphones, not a headset, because it doesn't have a microphone.
Yeah. I don't appreciate them testing those headphones on that bunny.
I know.
I'm anti-animal testing.
Oh, and they don't like animal crackers either.
Yeah, what should those be?
By the way. Not animals.
They understand we eat animals, though, right?
They don't want us to eat animals.
And those are just... if you were anti-eating animals, you should be jazzed up about the cracker.
Yes, but they're in the shape of animals, so they're still advocating violence against animals. See, this is what I'm talking about when you're talking about common sense and pushing your demands on people. If I want to bite the head off a fucking cracker lion, I'm going to fucking do it, and there's nothing Peter's going to do to stop me.
Also, animal crackers gave us one of the greatest cinematic moments of all time in Armageddon.
That's true.
So you couldn't have done that with goldfish.
That's true.
I guess those are out too, huh?
Or Cheez-It Crunches.
Yeah, Cheez-Its. That's a good, safe, animal-free shape, a square. Yeah, if he was chasing a Cheez-It with a Cheez-It on Liv Tyler's stomach, it wouldn't have been as great.
No, it'd be super awkward, as a matter of fact.
She'd be like, why are there Cheez-Its on my tummy?
I feel like Bruce Willis wouldn't have felt the need to sacrifice himself for that relationship.
For the Cheez-It love connection?
Yes.
Cheez-Its are assholes, best I can tell based on those commercials, too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Cheez-Its are weird. Cheez-Its, because they look delicious, but they taste kind of like powdered cardboard.
Yeah, they have the extra, like, crisp ones now.
Yeah.
They look like the ones that got stuck in the oven.
Yeah, too long.
So I appreciate them selling the ones that got too cooked.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like Cheez-Its.
Oh.
So producer Gerald reporting that the old animal cracker box had, I think it's the Barnum's animal cracker, had the animals in cages. They wanted them free range animal crackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I go back to the common sense thing and the demands thing.
Yeah, I only like to eat crackers that depict animals in cages, so I've been out ever since then.
Because here's the thing. I understand if you have a problem with that, that's great. So you know what? Don't buy animal crackers that have the animals in cages. Don't say bring home the bacon. You can say bring home the bagels. You can say feed the fed horse. But don't tell me what I have to eat and say and do.
How do you feel about the animal crackers that have frosting on, sprinkles on them?
No, that's not an animal cracker anymore.
It's turned into something else. It's a different dish.
Right.
At that point.
That's like if someone said, yeah, I want ice cream for dessert, and someone gave me pie. Okay. I mean, I like pie, don't get me wrong, but it's not what I fucking asked for.
It's still a base, though. It's got a base of animal cracker.
Okay, well, let's say I wanted a carrot cake for dessert. Instead, someone gave me chocolate cake with white sprinkles and frosting. Sorry, white frosting and chocolate sprinkles. It still has the same cake base. It's not what I wanted. I wanted a carrot cake.
I like a carrot cake like once a year.
I'm good. Yeah, I don't need it all the time, but...
Every time I have a slice of carrot cake, I'm like, this is better than expected. And then I don't need it again.
Yeah, and I don't understand how carrots can taste the way they do, and then carrot cake can taste the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how you get there.
You know what pisses me off more than anything when people are talking about food?
What's that?
When I say I don't like something and someone goes, you can't taste it in there. I'm like, then why the fuck do you put it in there?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're lying to me. Either it can be tasted or there's no reason for it to be there.
Yep. When I was a child, I had that conversation with my grandmother.
I have that conversation all the time as an adult.
And I remember that. And she got flustered because she couldn't answer. She wasn't used to logic from children, I guess.
As an adult who doesn't like mushrooms, when I tell people I don't like mushrooms, they're like, well, you can't taste them in here. Then why would you put them in there? They're like, well, I like the taste of them. You just said you can't taste them. Well, they add flavor, so you can taste them.
Right.
Like, what's happening here? So that really pisses me off about food.
Right. They're garnish. No, onions aren't garnish.
And how I got there in my head is that carrot cake reminded me of pumpkin pie, which I hate. And then people always goes, well, it doesn't really taste like pumpkin. If that's all it is, what does it taste like then? It's orange. It looks like pumpkin. It smells like pumpkin. I'm fairly certain it tastes like pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah. Or another good favorite of mine is, I got some, just as an example, I got some pineapple. You want some pineapple? No, I don't really like pineapple. Oh, you'd like this pineapple. Why? How does that one not taste like the traditional pineapple?
Yeah. How about when people go, well, you just haven't tried it lately?
Oh,
yeah, well, okay. I have, and I still don't fucking like it, so. Also, who says, like, if someone kicks me in the nuts and I don't care for it, who says 2 years from now I've got to try it again and see where I stand on it?
Right.
Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it.
Right.
Because I don't like tomatoes. A lot of times I'll be like, I don't really care for tomatoes. They're like, oh, you don't like ketchup? Oh, I didn't realize we were talking about ketchup. I thought we were talking about fucking tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like tomatoes, but I like ketchup.
I like
tomato
ketchup,
sauce,
but I can tolerate it. I can drink tomato juice. I can just snap a V8 open. But I don't want your gooey raw tomato on my burger.
Guy. Yeah, I don't want tomato on my... And sometimes, I think people have an issue with this. They don't understand it. Sometimes, like, for example, cooked onions. I like the flavor of cooked onions. I don't like the texture.
Yeah, I'm a texture
I don't
guy
like
myself.
it in my mouth.
I think that's my problem with tomatoes, because I think tomatoes are pretty bland.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not an aggressive flavor.
Right.
It really changes the dynamic, but they're gooey on the inside, and I just can't.
Yep. I know what you mean.
I just have a problem with that. I think that's a lot of my problem with seafood is the texture in my head. I can't get past it. And I also don't love the flavor, so there's no reason for me to eat it. And then when someone's like, you don't like any seafood? How about shrimp? No, I don't like any of it.
You don't like any seafood at all.
Right. And they're like, well, you haven't had good catfish. I mean, I don't even know how to answer. I don't like any kind of fish.
Right. Since it's all bad to me, yes, yeah. I have.
Yeah. People love to tell you, well, you haven't had my grandmother, so I don't even know your grandmother. It'd be weird if I'd had her food.
Yeah. And I probably wouldn't like her after she cooked fish for me because I don't fucking like fish.
Yeah. I don't know. This is the food show. That's what we're calling it. Simple name probably taken already.
The food show?
Yeah. The food show.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere.
Yep. How you feel about bran muffins?
Ooh, no.
Gross.
I'm not a muffin guy, period.
Really? I like a blueberry muffin.
No, I'm not really a muffin guy.
Bran muffin, the grossest of muffins that I've had.
Yeah, I don't like any muffins, really.
Oh, the food show's taken like 3 different ways I see just in one Google image search.
Nice.
Yep. We had it first, though. We've had it for 2 minutes now. So, look at the bran muffin. It doesn't even look good.
No muffins look good to me.
You ever had they take the egg and they put it in the muffin pan?
Mm-hmm.
With like bacon and cheese and stuff?
Yes, I have.
That's sort of a muffin.
We make those here.
That's kind of a muffin.
It's not a muffin.
It's muffin adjacent.
It's muffin shaped.
It's muffin adjacent.
There's literally nothing with the exception of an egg that's in them. I don't even know how to make a muffin. I'm assuming there's egg in it.
Does that have a name? I don't want to everybody be like, that's fucking called a thing.
Cheesy
No, they're
bacon.
calling them egg muffins, yeah.
They are calling them muffins. They're not fucking muffins, though.
Yeah, they're muffin adjacent for sure. I was trying to be with one of those people that found a muffin that you like. Well, you haven't had the egg muffins. Yeah, breakfast egg
They're not muffins. What's the definition of a muffin?
I don't know.
Is a muffin?
We've really gotten in the weeds with this one.
We have, but I'm annoyed now because I don't think an egg muffin is an actual thing.
I do think it's a thing.
Is it literally just based off the shape?
It's in a muffin pan.
I know that, but that's just the name of the pan because that's what people cooked muffins in.
It's not good for anything else. An individual sized baked product. By that definition, a lot of things are muffins.
Huh. Yeah, no kidding. That makes sense to me.
Individual pizza would be a muffin.
Exactly. An individual pizza would be a muffin. A fucking cupcake would be a muffin. You can't call them cupcakes anymore. It's a fucking muffin.
Man, how that would mess you up if you're like, hey, do you want a muffin? And they gave you like a cupcake. You'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Right, but technically you got a muffin according to the definition.
Now, when you put cornbread in a muffin pan, you still call it cornbread too. It doesn't become muffins.
Oh, wait, it says, what's this?
This is
two distinct items, a part raised flatbread and a cupcake like quick bread. Yes, so egg muffins is not a fucking thing.
Are they saying you have to have the muffin top?
Yes. It needs to be made, it's a bread product.
Right.
It is a bread product. And cheese and bacon and eggs are not made out of fucking bread, so they're not egg muffins. So anybody who calls them an egg muffin, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they are, but I hear you.
They are not egg... Fuck you, too.
I hear you.
They are not egg muffins.
If this is your first time here, welcome. We do this show each and every week. We post it 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world. Also available on Dash Radio, our good friends over there, and everywhere in between. So if you can't find a place to listen to us, you're not trying very hard. Also, I don't know how you're hearing this message. I've thrown my phone in the ground in protest.
Okay.
So that's gone now.
I guess that's a protest.
He's saying muffins aren't sweet, but I would say that some muffins are sweet.
Like a blueberry muffin, you tell me the blueberries aren't sweet?
It's a sweet. I like the blueberry cheesecake muffins. Very sweet. Maybe they're cupcakes.
Egg muffin, not a thing. That's where I'm at with it.
Anyways, if you want to support this little soiree that we do, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch and do so. If you can't support us, then just tell a friend, family member, coworker, or someone in the court system about us.
And so, what?
Yep. Like bail bondsman, clerk,
parole
officer, judge, lawyer. There's a lot of options you can go with.
If you're a lawyer, you should tell the jury during your opening statement.
They'd be like, what does that even mean? Also, why did he say that an egg muffin's not a muffin? Because that's a muffin. It's in the name.
I'm going to be on trial shortly.
Oh, man. It's fine. It's fine. We got this back on track. It started bad with the pita. We brought it back around with the egg muffin. So I feel
egg muffin isn't a thing.
That's what he searched for. It pulled up all those results.
It doesn't matter. The internet's wrong.
I feel like we're in a good place now is what I'm saying. A good headspace. So I've had
bread.
The muffins where you take the muffin pan and you drape the bacon down in there.
Yes.
And you like basket weave it.
Yep.
And then put shit in there. But the bacon doesn't cook to my likings.
No.
Bacon's one of those things where I think a lot of people just eat bacon pretty much raw.
I don't.
It's like super floppy.
I like mine crisp.
I like my bacon where if I hold it up on my finger, it does fold, but it's cooked.
No, I like mine to stick straight out.
You want yours to crumble when you bite into it.
Yes, extra crispy. Mm-hmm. Every time I get it, I order it somewhere, I order it extra crispy.
That's how I like it on like a biscuit. I like it extra crispy on a biscuit. Because if not, you pull the whole slice out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on a burger or a biscuit or something like that. But like if I'm just having bacon and eggs, I like it a little floppy, a little flaccid. Just a little flaccid.
Look at all them pictures of bacon.
That's a beautiful food. It's like a golden brown, like a maple brown color.
Mm-hmm.
That person made a football out of bacon.
Interesting.
Golly, that's for sure off of Pinterest. I was looking Pinterest shit, and I have to pin that. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into what we're playing. I think we've both been playing the same thing.
I played a few things this week, but yeah.
And then the old standbys for me. I played Rocket League. I played Farm together. And then some stuff on my phone. Nothing amazing there. And then the game we both been playing. So you can go through yours, and then we'll talk about the game we both been playing.
So I've been playing, obviously, Rocket League. On the Switch, I'm basically continuing through everything. A little bit more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. A little bit more of Link's Awakening, and a little bit more of Revolution 1979. And then I picked up, it came out this week for it. It seemed interesting to me, One Night Stand. Have you heard about this game?
No, I'm totally lost on it.
Essentially, what it is it's a really short independent game. You basically wake up in bed with a person, and you have to basically determine where you are, how you got there. You don't remember anything about your night because you were obviously inebriated. So you talk with this person to get it through, and there are 12 different possible endings that you can get depending on different decisions that you make, different questions you ask, different as you're looking around the room and seeing different things that you see. And I have so far I played it twice. I've got 2 different endings. Real short game, probably takes 20 minutes to play it. I think it was like $3. But its style, it's some of the things you do in it. It's kind of gives me the same aesthetic as 2/3 Home, where it's basically just a lot of conversation, and it's super. It's just really, really. It sounded really, really interesting to me, and I'm happy with it. I'm going to play some more. I want to see all the different endings, see how it works out. It's just one of those super simple experiences. I mean, it'd probably be perfect on a phone. It may be available on the phone. I don't even know.
How's it? Is it first person, third person?
It's first, but it's first person. It's like you're the person having the conversations, looking around. It's kind of like a first person, almost adventure game, maybe, because you're looking around the room and seeing the different things. But you're essentially like, you're literally pretty much laying in bed the whole time. So there's really not a lot of moving to do. It's just looking around and seeing different things. It's just the idea of it really interested me, so I thought I'd try it for $3. And right. I am. It's really good for for that kind of short experience. But it's just interesting about the different. Like, I've gotten 2 basically completely different endings right now, and it's amazing to me how it just notates how some of the simplest questions we ask and choices we make can have such a huge effect on the outcome of something. I think this game really does kind of bring it like to the forefront, make you aware of it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of neat about 2 people who met up and have a discussion.
Yeah.
Nothing fantastic, nothing amazing, but it's perfect for what I need at the time.
A short, simple time in bed, something I've got some experience with.
Yep.
Should be right up my alley. And
on sale this week, they had on the PlayStation Store, they had a game I've been interested in for a while. So since it was half off, I picked up Shadow of War, the second Middle Earth game, and I actually played for like 45 minutes this morning, just through like the first part of the cutscene story and the tutorial, and I think it's going to be more Shadow of Mordor, so I like it.
You're playing so many things that makes me uncomfortable.
I know, I'm playing a lot of different things.
That's too many things.
But it's putting me in situations where I like the Switch is great because I can sit downstairs and play it. I've been taking it to work with me, playing it on lunch and things like that. So, and then of course there's the other game that we both played this week.
Yeah, that game is Concrete Genie.
We both said we were getting it.
Yeah, it's a PS4 exclusive. It is by Pixel Opus. Their last game was Entwined, so it's been a while. I think they've roughly been working on this game for 4.5 years. And it finally came out, and it's $30, $40, something like that.
Depending on which version you get. There is a digital deluxe edition for $40.
The cool thing is if you buy it and love it, you can upgrade a regular version for $10.
Right.
So you don't have to commit early on to do so. So we're at different stages, so I'm not going to get too deep into the story or anything like that because you're still playing it.
Yeah.
But I do want to say like some general stuff.
You ran through it in a fucking day.
Yeah, I did it in one sitting. It is a short game. I think a lot of outlets are saying it's about 6 hours long. I think that's fair. I did get the platinum. I'd say I probably had about 8 hours platinum total in the platinum. But there is some VR stuff that slowed me down, and there's one collectible I had trouble finding. I love the art style.
Mm-hmm.
I love the story behind the game. I love, I don't know how in the weeds you've got with it, but 2 people designed all of the environments.
Yep.
Which is crazy to me because it's not huge, but it's very
detailed.
The city feels like a real city to me. Like it's very charming. It's got an art style that it stays in. Some of the other cool things, the main character's face is actually like a 2D animation, like hand-drawn animation.
Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but remember the old claymation character, the old clay characters that used to be on like Sunday morning, like Davey?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
but it's animated.
It's super cool, and one person did all of that. It's a very small team, and it's very neat, and I think it's got a cool style. Now, I will say this is a game that I think is probably right up my alley. It's kind of quirky. It's definitely different. It's got a, the hook is kind of like drawing and creating, but they've made it really simple. It's a lot of, it's like anything, but there's a lot of grind there. It's a lot of go here, do the same thing, go here, do the same thing. I was worried about the stealth elements of the game. I didn't play the game stealthy at all. I was never actually caught by the group that's chasing you. Like, I never had any issues, and I didn't play stealthy, not one bit. If they do see you, they chase you. You can climb. They can. It's very easy.
Yep.
To me, it was a very relaxing time, which is how I was able to play it in one sitting. I started, and I just kept going. It was easy for me just to keep playing, and the story does some stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I care about the story. I get what they're trying to do and what they're trying to tell. I don't know if that matters. We'll find out once you finish.
Right.
But the gameplay to me was really enjoyable. I did look up the Metacritic score this morning, and it's like a 76, which is green on their charts. But the user rating is like a 83, and I thought that was about where I think the game falls. It's not a perfect game, but I really enjoyed my time with it, and I will say it's one of the easiest platinums that I've ever got. So if you're pretty thorough when you play games, and this is something that interests you, and you like getting platinums, it's an easy one that you really don't have to chase too much. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not as far in as you, but I enjoy the game. Like you said, it's very unique. It's like a whimsical. The idea behind the story in the city and what's happened, it's almost got a whimsical darkness to it, which I know doesn't even seem to make sense. But there are some, certain elements of like emotional fear and that kind of darkness, that kind of pain. But there's also so much joy, like when you bring like a section of city to life. The city looks very much lived in, very much like a desolate city that something has happened in. And they do a really good job of, like you said, it's only 2 people, and they did such an excellent job of bringing that city to be what it is. Not just when you start out, but then when you finish an area and completely bring it back to life. They did a good job on all those accounts. I told you this morning, I seem to be having a little bit more trouble in it than you. I think my problem is I'm overthinking it. I think it's a really, really simple game to play. And I think I'm overthinking certain aspects of it because of what I'm used to. I'm used to like the hidden secrets, and you got to find the special path to get over here. I don't know that there's much of that in this game. I think it's just, oh, there it is. You can go to it. If you can't go to it now, you'll be able to go to it. So I think I'm overthinking it and spending a lot more time just running around looking for the path to get to this one thing that I'm concentrating on at the time. So I think I need to, now that I know that, I think when I step back in, I need to just scale back and just enjoy it.
Yeah, at any given point, it'll show you where you need to go to, and also like the free roam is there. I don't think you need to put any thought into the game other than just enjoying it. Because I didn't think anything was overly hard. So I would say if that's happening, you probably just are overthinking it. That game seems to really, you have to take it at face value.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's if you're used to, some of the super hard puzzles to try to figure out and those kind of things.
It's not that.
You need to step off of that when you're playing this game because it's not that. That's where I'm running into trouble.
Every puzzle in the game is solved in the same manner, and it's I think it's supposed to be a good simple time where they tell what I think they think is a powerful story. I'm sure people will connect more or less with the story depending on their childhood,
right?
But as somebody who grew up doing a lot of doodling and drawing and stuff, the joy of him like with his characters, I think that seems real and genuine to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that part is probably my favorite part. But I really liked it. It's not the greatest game ever made, but I really enjoyed it, and I would suggest it for anybody who is okay playing a game that's a little bit different.
Yeah, it almost, to me, it feels like a neat in between evolution or de-evolution, depending on which end of the spectrum you're at. But it almost like fits right directly in between a mobile game and a console game with its simplicity of play.
Yeah, it's very passive.
You know what I mean?
And you can like fall from too high and die and stuff. It's an immediate respawn.
Right.
Like instantly. It goes black and then you're standing right where you were.
Yep.
It doesn't put you all the way back. There are no checkpoints. It just puts you right where you were.
There's none of that. I mean, it's a little more complicated than just, swipe right and tap here, but not much.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You can get lost in the art. You can keep the art simple. I did a little bit of both. There's some buildings, some areas where I really took the time to kind of create what I wanted to create and worked with the layers, and I did some pretty neat looking stuff. There's some times where I just slap some paint on there to move on.
Right.
And I think it affords you that ability because the game doesn't care which one you do. But I suggest Concrete Genie for anybody who's interested in what that game may be. If you need to know more about it, I'm sure we'll talk about it more once you finish it.
Right. If you have even an inkling of curiosity about it, I would say probably pick it up because I think it's going to be what you're looking for. If you're not interested, you're not interested. I get it. If you're not interested, it's not going to be probably a sleeper hitting of like, oh, this is not what I usually play, but I love this. That's probably not the case.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to sneak up on you. If you like those kind of games, you'll like this game. If you don't, you're not going to.
You won't. Yep.
But shout out to Pixel Opus from me. I enjoyed that game a lot. That's it. That's all we played.
I'm enjoying it as well. So,
also, Switch will tell you how long that you've played something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking through everybody's time in games, and I wish that every system had that first because of liars,
Right.
People will be like, oh, I played that for 100 hours. You look, I played it for 20 or something like that. But also, Some of those things are pretty remarkable to see in real time. Like I think Gerald's played like 135 hours of Fortnite on the Switch.
Really?
And I was like, damn, that's a big number. Like when you see it, you're like realize how much Fortnite he plays on the Switch. And for me, like when I look through my stuff, you see how little I actually play a lot of stuff that I bought.
Right.
Like a lot of it just says like a few hours or a couple hours. I'm like, damn, I didn't put enough time. I didn't give that the time it deserves.
Right.
So I kind of wish more consoles did that very thing because it kind of made me want to go back into some stuff when I was looking at those numbers. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Shout out to
so that's
Nintendo.
That's what we played this week.
That's all. That's it. Concrete Genie. A little farm together. Got another event going. Anniversary event. So.
And then, of course, we played Rocket League.
Yep. I left Farm Together on in the background yesterday so it collects money and stuff while I'm not playing. And I know that I've screwed up the time that the PS4 is going to show that I've played already. So I've just gone all in with it now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's jump into the news.
Go for it.
Breaking news 3 days ago. Huge story. It's called the PS5.
Yep, that's what they're calling it. They're
Sony's
calling it
confirmed
the PS5.
it. Confirmed. PS5. Nobody saw this coming. Totally out of left field. Oh, speaking of left field, I played MLB The Show, and I've got some major problems with it.
Oh.
But as somebody who doesn't play baseball games or like baseball, I'm probably not the right critic for it, so I'll keep them to myself.
Fair enough. Probably better.
They're calling it the PS5. And they confirmed a couple other things about it. The PS5 will include a disc drive for physical game and 4K Blu-rays. The PS5 disc will use the Blu-rays that are 100 gig capacity, so expect to see games that are multiple disc.
Yep.
Game installation is mandatory, but consoles will allow you to install a multiplayer campaign, for example, or install the entire game, or delete the single-player portion once you're finished, which I thought this was pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you can basically install different aspects of the game on their own, single player, multiplayer. So if you're one of those people who, if you're like, or that person, I guess, who buys Call of Duty for the single player story, you don't have to download any of the multiplayer aspect of it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. The controller is absolutely crazy. It doesn't have a name yet. A lot of people think they're going to lose the DualShock name just because of what it has going on. They are switching it over to USB-C charging, which makes a lot of sense since that's kind of the standard now. It does have longer battery capacity, but what's crazy is it's using haptic feedback along with adjustable triggers that can be adjusted by the developers of the game that you're playing.
Yep.
And so those two things work in tandem with if you're playing a game like Tomb Raider and you're pulling the bow back, you're going to feel the haptic feedback, and also the resistance is going to be different than if you're squeezing the trigger for a gun. Or it'll allow them to actually make different trigger draw or pull or whatever that's called with different guns in like a Call of Duty where everything's not going to fire at the same tension.
Yep. Or if you're pulling a rope, you're going to feel that
Yeah.
trigger tighten up as you're tightening that rope.
It's going to be crazy to see how people implement those two things together between the haptic feedback and
it is.
the pressure triggers. I'm super excited about those two things together. I am curious what they do with the trackpad. I think they have to keep it or replace it with a different button so that everything is backwards compatible. Mm-hmm. And I think the light stays, which a lot of people think the light's gone, but I think the light stays.
I think it should stay. I like the light.
I do like the light. I also think it's necessary for VR.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes. Mark Cerny kind of clarified the ray tracing acceleration because a lot of people were getting a little wild about that. The games do not have ray tracing. The hardware supports the ray tracing, I guess, is the clarification that was given. The new UI will allow you to see more details on what you can play. As Blue Point Games, the studio that remakes Shadow of the Colossus, Uncharted, Nathan Drake is working on a PS5 game. That's a big one. I read that all together, but it's separate. So two separate things. But basically with the new UI, you'll be able to see exactly, I'll see exactly what you're doing in what game and if I have the ability to jump in right then.
Right.
So now it might say like Rocket League doubles, but I'm going to be able to see what you're doing, how much time's left, if there's an open spot, all that stuff, according to a lot of early reports. You'll be able to see just way more data at what someone's doing right then.
Right. So what are your thoughts? You have any?
It sounds like everything I expected. Some of that controller stuff was unexpected to me.
See, the controller stuff wasn't really expected to me. The reason being, and I've said this before, is we're kind of at a point, and with consoles and with PCs to an extent, where graphical capabilities are starting to plateau. So in order to stay relevant, the consoles need to find other aspects to define themselves. And I think Sony's doing it more with those types of, not so much with a graphical upgrade, which you'll have a minor one, but more so with these improvements to the actual like interactiveness of the game with the haptic triggers and those sort of things. So I'm not really surprised at much of this, as much as maybe you were.
Yeah, I was not expecting the haptic feedback along with the triggers are really what surprised me.
No, I couldn't have pinpointed haptic triggers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, I knew they were going to do that, but I'm saying I did expect some design improvements to be implemented on the controller and the hardware itself more so than the software and its capabilities.
Yeah. We'll see how it all pans out. The controller thing is neat to me. The system is what I expect. I mean, it's not going to be the jump from PS2 to PS3. If people want that, it's not going to happen.
No.
That picture that you have pulled up, definitely not the controller either.
Nope. That thing is uglier than sin.
Definitely not that controller. It's going to look like the DualShock 4.
Wouldn't it be cool if I had a little mini screen in it? Like a Vita? Like a tiny Vita screen?
Or if it had a memory card that had a screen on it, and you could play that memory card on the go and then put it back in the controller to earn stuff for games.
And they called it the Sony Dreamcast?
Yeah. It was shaped like a saucer. The next story, it looks like Sony's new VR headset could go wireless, if you believe a patent that was discovered by Let's Go Digital. These patents were initially filed in February, and they appear to show a few big changes to the existing model. Most notably, there are cameras on the headset, 2 facing forwards, 1 facing back, as well as a camera on the new controllers that were shown off. And the patent also explains that the headset could work wirelessly through Bluetooth. Obviously, a feature that would help it stand out upon all the tethered headsets that are out there. But I don't believe a lot of this.
Yeah, I don't
believe it's wireless.
Wireless would be cool, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Wireless would be great. Also, I'm not sure about those new controllers.
Oh, with the donut looking thing on top?
Yeah, it looks like they pulled the ping pong ball off and shoved a donut on top of it.
Yeah.
It's not very elegant looking.
No.
But I guess maybe that's the controller. I don't know. The cameras are super necessary for tracking purposes.
Wouldn't that make it a little more similar to like what the Vive does? Don't they have those weird things with the rings?
Yeah, but your hand like goes in them. They are the controller.
Oh, okay.
Let's just have a donut shoved on top of a stick.
Hey, donut on a stick is not a bad thing.
It's real carnival food, but this doesn't look good to me. But I will say the cameras are necessary. They also have to do the thing where they let you turn that camera on in case you're getting sketched out about who's in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also super important. I don't know that they'll do that, but just having the cameras for tracking purposes certainly makes you believe that that's how the wireless would work. It would use the camera so that you didn't have to be in a certain spot to keep you from bashing into a wall. But if you become untethered to the system, they have to do some room scaling to keep people from dying.
Right.
So it's going to be more complicated than just shoving a donut on a stick and throwing 3 cameras on there.
And the thing is, just because something gets patented doesn't mean it gets developed that way.
Yep.
True. As well.
Yep. We'll see. Would you buy... So they've already confirmed the old one will work. You don't play the old one.
I don't play the old one much. I probably wouldn't get the new one just yet unless...
that was my question.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't get the new one right off the bat. Possibly eventually.
Now, producer Gerald, you do play the VR. Would you get the new headset? It's hard no. Hard no. So you're saying as long as yours works, you're good. But if yours went out, you would need to replace it with a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm at with it too.
Yeah.
I don't play VR much, but when I want to play it, I want to play it.
Yeah. If
when
I
want to play it, I need to have it.
If that VR has become a staple of the way I like to play games. If it is an improvement, a significant improvement upon what I have, I'm going to buy it.
Right.
If it's not, I don't see a reason to. Like if it's just black instead of white, like I'm going to have to hold off.
Right.
But if it's a significant improvement in either tracking or fidelity, or it is wireless, then I'll go ahead and get it. But if it's just
wireless would be a big deal.
It would be cool.
If they could make it wireless, it would be a huge deal.
I mean, the Quest is out there doing it. You can buy the Quest right now. It's affordable. I wonder if it takes a step down for them to make it wireless, though.
Right.
Yeah. Do I have to wear a backpack along with it? Everything's self-contained. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm excited about the future of VR, though. I like VR a lot. They don't have it figured out all the way, though. I want to be clear on that. So that's the VR story.
Who does?
Nobody. Nobody. So the lead system architect for Atari's retro console, the Atari VCS, has left the project after he claims the company hasn't paid him for 6 months. So that right off the bat sounds like a really good indication for how the Atari VCS is going to do. Now, Dan hates this story so much he's left. He's left the room. He got up and walked out. He didn't say anything to me. He didn't say anything to producer Gerald. He just got up and left. He might have motioned, but I was looking down, so I don't even know. The weird thing is about him hating the story, he pulled the news this week. So if he hates it, it's kind of on him. Back to the story, though. He'll never know that we had this conversation. Atari architect Rob Wyatt, who was previously a founding member of the Xbox team, told the Register that he left the Atari project last week. As of Friday, October 4th, I have officially resigned as the architect of the Atari VCS. According to Wyatt, his design, Tin Giant, has not been paid. I guess he has a consulting agency called Tin Giant, has not been paid for invoices dating back over 6 months. 6 months. As a small company, we have been lucky to survive this long, Wyatt says. The status of the Atari VCS is also murky. Wyatt said his team only received a prototype motherboard last month and that his team was in the process of debugging it before parting ways with Atari. In a statement to IGN, Atari spokesperson says the Atari VCS is still on track. The Atari VCS is proceeding according to its previously announced schedule. And also says updates can be found on Medium. In regards to Wyatt's claims of unpaid invoices, Atari issued another statement, and it is Atari's policy not to commit on an isolated matter that is under dispute. Basically, they're saying we for sure didn't pay them.
This thing's DOA, man.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
There is too much stupid shit going wrong. That this and now you've got Stadia on the horizon. Stadia is probably going to fill, if it fills any gap, it fills the gap that this system was going to fill. I do think Stadia is probably its own identity, its own thing, but VCS was kind of going to do that, and now it's not. It's just there's too much going wrong. They're not able to pay people. It doesn't matter why they didn't pay him, whether the guy didn't do a good job or whatever. If he didn't do a good job, then this thing's DOA. If he did a good job and they don't have the money to pay him, this thing's DOA.
when someone performs work, you have to pay them.
Right.
If they didn't do a good job, you didn't stay on them enough to know what kind of job they were doing throughout the process.
Right.
But you can't not pay them. For anyone wanting context, the Atari VCS was announced in 2017 before going on pre-order earlier this year. The Atari VCS wasn't actually a retro console like the NES or SNES Mini. Instead, the Atari VCS would take inspiration from the Atari 2600 but also play modern games. Atari said the Atari VCS would run a custom AMD processor on Linux and support 4K resolution, HDR, and 60 frames per second. The Atari VCS would also play classic games and with access to the Atari Vault, which comes preloaded with 100 games. This thing is fucked with a capital F, though.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
No.
If you're not paying people, it's usually because you don't have money.
In the 2 years since it's been announced, 2 years since it's been announced, every update we've gotten out of Atari has come with some sort of bad news or a caveat. It's never just, yes, it's on track, it's coming out. There's always some sort of problem that's arisen as well. Yep. This thing is game over, man.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. That controller looks okay.
The controller does look okay.
Fortnite Chapter 2, a leak suggests a new map is on its way. This is a huge deal.
This story, I put the story on here for producer Gerald.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into Fortnite, this is exciting or scary or, I mean, it's something for sure. It's evoking some sort of emotion out of you.
Yes.
The leak comes from Italian iOS App Store. A user on the Fortnite BR subreddit posted a video showing their iPad screen as they browse through the App Store for Fortnite. At first glance, a search for Fortnite turns up a regular app page and an icon. But during a refresh, the app briefly changes to show off a new image that depicts three characters, including Jonesy, standing atop of a hill overlooking a new Fortnite map. The title also is changed to include the subhead Capitolo 2, which is Italian for Chapter 2. Sorry if I said that wrong. I'm not fucking Italian.
You're not. So, that's true.
You know, I'm just winging it.
There's also been some talk on Reddit and such that if you dig into the what is it they do where they dig into the code?
Yeah, they like farm the code.
What are they, data miners or something?
Yeah, they're assholes. Yeah, I got you.
There's data miners have said that they found code for a new map that's coming. So all of this seems to line up that Fortnite's going to be getting a new map, which I think quite a few people have actually. This is something quite a few of them want. They've been happy with the changes that have been made with the one map, but a second map is always gonna make things a little better. And so I think it's probably about time, I think you can probably say that this is probably a leak that you're going to see come to fruition.
So one of the things I thought was neat was the way they updated and changed the map and didn't get married to any idea. But with two maps, having to update those constantly seems like a lot of work. I wonder if they're going to get to the point where they're not updating them as regularly because they have two maps and they can kind of off-cycle do one then the other.
Yeah, that may be something you see happen. You can prepare an event on one, like with a meteor or whatever, while you've gone live with whatever the change was on the old map. So, yeah, I think that's something. I don't think you'll see constant changes happening to both maps at the same time. I think you'll see them flip-flopping back and forth.
Producer Gerald does not think it's two maps. We'll find out. Maybe potentially as early as today, though. Epic Games is currently counting down a mysterious event that will take place on Sunday, October 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central. Now, if it is two maps, this is going to seem reactive for the first time in Fortnite because Apex just launched the second map. And Fortnite seems to have always been the trendsetter when it comes to these, not reactive. And I think if they add another map, it's a little reactive in my eyes, even though it's probably been planned if it happens.
Right.
So, Gerald just says there's a giant comet's going to destroy the whole map, man. they'll start fresh, I guess.
So basically, I think producer Gerald, what you're telling us, well, Ryan and I anyway, is that you think the comet is going to hit the island now and essentially terraform it into a different map. He affirmed my suspicion. That's a possibility too. Completely terraform that map, completely change what that map is, all because of a comet.
Yep.
We could find out, like he said, like Ryan said, as early as today.
I don't think it'll be 2 maps either. I just don't think it fits in what they've always done. I think it is way less complicated and you can focus way harder on one map, but we'll see. Maybe it's time. What do I know? There's the comet. It looks like a fiery comet.
Ooh, it's coming.
It reminds me of Armageddon, which we spoke about earlier.
It reminds me of Deep Impact.
Oh, the classic Deep Impact. Made cinematic history.
How so?
I don't know. I just was saying that. I don't even know if I've seen Deep Impact.
Well, I don't know why you started to say Dick. That's what I want to know.
I've seen Dick. I was watching the weather lady, and she meant to say that something, and she said Dick, and it was awkward, but I enjoyed it because she didn't slip, she just said Dick. I think she meant to say there's a deep cold front coming or something. She's like, there's a deep cold front. She just she didn't try to pivot, you know.
No, she just fuck it. I said Dick.
Yeah, I just said Dick out loud. So Gerald's got the map pulled up from season 1 to season 10 for comparison. I mean, you can tell that it's vastly different, but it carries the same shape.
Yes, it is vastly different, but it is essentially the same.
So the question is, will the island itself be changed?
Yes, I think that's what we're looking at. If it's either a second map or that's what we're looking at, which you would still call a second map, I guess. But it would just be one map.
Right.
Just a new map.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. Time will tell with the Fortnite.
Time will tell.
I'm going to let you do this next story because it's pretty much will mean things to you.
Yeah, this is... I did put this story on here for me, and the next story is on here for both of us. So Division 2 Pentagon Content is going to be released next week. Title Update 6 is going to be released on October 15th, and it's going to add Episode 2, Pentagon, The Last Castle, and a new conflict PvP mode. Like always, if you have the Year 1 Season Pass, you get it on the 15th. And if not, you get it on the 22nd of October. And this second episode is going to pit Division agents against Black Tusk forces as the two factions race to discover the secrets inside the Pentagon. 2 new main missions are going to take place in the Pentagon and the DARPA research labs. There's going to be a new technician specialization added that is basically has a missile launcher that locks on, I believe. He gets an Artificer Hive skill variant. I don't know what that is. An EMP grenade and a Maxim 9 sidearm. If you are a pass holder, you are exclusively going to get 2 new classified assignments. One at the Marina, one at the Embassy. And everybody's going to, of course, like all title updates, Ubisoft is doing some fixes and improvements. These include targeted loot. Named items are going to be overhauled. There's going to be some crafting changes, some recalibration changes, filled brands, new inventory management, increased stash space, which I know people have been clamoring for. Talents and weapons will be rebalanced. Server transfers in the Dark Zone. Updated Thieves' Den vendor. There's going to be Dark Zone supply drop changes. Occupied Dark Zone ambushes. Some normalization in Dark Zone changes, new loadout selection during map voting in conflict, some bonus armor visualizations, end of match rewards changes for the conflict mode, and some stored tutorials that you can check out. So that is title update coming October 15th if you are a pass holder, and coming on the 22nd if you are not.
So, are you? I mean, is this excited? Does it make you want to go back?
I do want to check it out, but I don't know that I will. I'm not caught back up yet from burning out playing it so much when it first came out.
Right.
I didn't play the last title update at all. I do want to get back into it. It just, everything seems to be, what I'm really looking for is just some real good single player activities in it. I don't want everything to be MMO, to be multiplayer based. I know it's an MMO. I understand that.
Right.
But I like the story. I like the universe. I do some of the MMO stuff. I may get back into it. I'm not sure. I like that Ubisoft is constantly making these changes and upgrades, and they're staying on point with their original game plan and their blueprint for what they wanted to do. They haven't wavered from that. That's a good thing. I know it does still have a very large player base, not as much as it did at one point, but it does still have a pretty decent player base. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, interesting. It's a lot of content there. So we'll see if it brings people in.
Or keeps them playing.
Yeah, it's not going to bring me in.
No, I know, but it's
maybe. Ubisoft is working on multiple animated shows inspired by its existing video game IP. The film and television division of the third-party video game giant Ubisoft is reportedly working on a number of animated series inspired by its existing IP. And one of these is a family-friendly adventure inspired by Rayman, or Rayman. You're a psychopath. And another is the other is the Hungry Shark Squad, based on the Hungry Shark game. For slightly older viewers, Ubisoft has a cyber mystery in the works that draws from themes and ideas from Watch Dogs. It has no direct ties to the universe, however, so probably won't be called that. And Ubisoft is also teaming up with Netflix Castlevania producer for a young adult series based on the Far Cry expansion Blood Dragon. So maybe not the titles or the games in the series that you would think that they would be doing shows about, but that's what they're working on.
No, but they did say they are trying to create a Marvel-style multiverse with other Ubisoft games. So
that Hungry Shark universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the Rayman universe. I mean, okay. It's I think we're going to start seeing more and more of this, especially with these companies that now have their own streaming services. They basically want to control their own content. I do think this is something you're going to see start happening more and more. Not necessarily in the vein of animated, but just developing other properties, other media properties based on their existing IPs. I just think that's something that we're going to see, Ryan. I know we've talked at length how you're against it, but brace yourself, bud. It's coming.
Yeah, let's run them into the fucking ground. Let's line them up and knock them down.
Blood Dragon sounds cool. I will say that. I would watch that.
Yeah, the Hungry Shark will be good. That'll be good.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's a...
Pre-order now.
Yeah, that'll be a great animated series for a game I haven't fucking played, so... The last story, Stranger Things is coming to Rocket League for Halloween.
Woohoo!
Rocket League's annual Halloween event is about to get underway, and this year it will be a crossover with Stranger Things. The Farmstead Arena will take on a drastically upside down vibe, and you're also getting the terrifying Mind Flayer that will cast an ominous shadow over the field. It's not quite clear on how the monster will affect your attempts to score goals, but Sonic's warned players to make sure they look after their teammates. So there's going to be some shenanigans going on in here for sure.
Oh, shit.
As well as the revamped arena, there'll be plenty of Stranger Things cosmetics, which you'll be able to kit your battle car and banner out with. So you're going to spend candy corns like the previous years. It's going to work like all the other events. This one is just themed with Halloween and Stranger Things. It's probably a pretty huge tie-in. Going to be a lot of people probably excited about it, and I'm just excited about Rocket League in general. So,
yeah, I like Rocket League, guy. And I really, really like Stranger Things. So this was cool news. This is pretty exciting to me. I can't wait. The other stuff was cool. This stuff I'm probably going to have to get everything of. I'm going to have to play more to get the candy corns to buy the shit because I'm going to want it all.
Yeah. I'll have to have it all because that's how I roll.
I thought you said you're getting away from that now.
Well, for events.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't need all the blueprints or crates or whatever they want to call that shit. But I do. I have gotten everything for every event since I've been playing, I think. So.
Got it.
I do feel the need to get all the stuff from the event, even if I don't use it. So, it's called the Haunted Hollows. Comes
out the 14th, I believe.
That's today.
Is that today?
Mm-hmm. The 14th.
No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. I don't remember the date that it comes out.
October 14th.
Yeah, that's Monday.
From October 14th to November 11th.
Yeah. If it's anything like any other Rocket League, it's plenty of fucking time. Plenty of time to earn everything. You just have to play.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. That's it. That's it for the news. That's all the news.
It's actually it's not producer Gerald is a Call of Duty fan, and he would like us to let everyone know that Call of Duty mobile game broke records with 100 million downloads in its first week.
I mean, that sounds like it's doing okay.
Yeah, it sounds okay. It sounds like it's
like they're probably breaking even, you know.
Yeah, and making some of their money back anyway. Most of it.
While we
take out a small loan.
While we're shitting on Activision and Call of Duty for being a mega hit that it is, I want to give a shout out to EA because it looks like all the fucking sports games from this year are just broken. I don't know how that happens when you make them every fucking year.
Yeah.
But I see some TikToks of Madden stuff. That game is broken. And we gave a shout out to the guys with the dragon arms last week. Or
yes.
Before. Not the dragging arms, but the arms that drag. They don't have dragons as arms. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's not a glitch.
Yeah. But, I mean, the games just seem terribly broken.
Yeah, that seems to be a sports game problem.
So I don't know how this happens, but shout out to them for making something shitty. Call of Duty's probably fine. I don't want to play Call of Duty on a console. I definitely don't want to play on a phone.
I'm not a Call of Duty guy either, but producer Gerald is excited about it and wanted us to share it. And so I did. That one was for you. And whoever else wanted to hear it, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just solely for him. Don't give him that kind of power.
No. It was just for him.
Now it's time for shout-outs. Remember, if you want to shout-out, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch and support us at the $10 tier. Just like Zach and Thomas did. Now I don't have one for Zach, but I do have one for Thomas. He didn't mean this as a shout out, but I'm gonna intervene here because maybe I can help out. He invited me to a party chat last night as I was getting off. So I said, "Hey, just about to grab some dinner. Hopefully I'll be back on tonight." And he said, "Speaking of dinner, Taco Bell has betrayed me."
Oh no! What happened?
They don't have the Chipotle grillers anymore.
Oh.
'Twas a sad day indeed. To which I responded, never give up on them. They only have 12 ingredients and something similar will pop up soon. Because I'm a positive guy, you know. Cup half full.
Yeah, you are, Mr. Optimistic.
Yeah. Then he said, they still have the potato ones. But who the hell thought potato is better than chicken? And why the hell do they get to make this decision? This won't do. And then I said, it's time to send a letter to Mr. Bell. There's no other options at this point, right?
Right.
And he said, I already did 7 pages long.
Oh, my good Lord. Love it. Yes.
So, Thomas's shout out is to Mr. Bell.
To Mr. Bell.
From Taco Bell.
Mr. T. Bell.
Bring back the Chipotle chicken grillers. People loved it. Get your head out of your ass. Bring it back. So, he's also been sending me a lot of fun memes from the Goose Game that I really enjoy. It'd be like a house on fire. People running out of it.
That thing is taken off in a pop culture sense.
Yeah, he'll send me like a house on fire, and then the goose will just be in the front of it, like just standing there like he set it on fire. It's pretty good. He's taking to send me those, and I like them. Oh, Mr. Bell died. Fun fact, the guy's name is fucking Mr. Bell. I was just joking. Glenn Bell. He won't be able to sell him. He'll have to send it to the Bell family.
Yes. Yeah, or the Bell Trust, whatever.
Huh.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah, me either. I always joke about that. Never thought it was actually Mr. Bell.
Huh. It was Mr. Bell. I guess it makes sense because Taco Bell doesn't make a sense.
It does if that's your last name.
Right. That's not what makes sense.
It could have been like Taco Waltons.
It could have been.
I don't know. I like Mr. Bell. I like what he's done. He'd probably be fucking upset if he was alive today.
Why? Because they got rid of the Chipotle grillers.
Yeah. They're owned by Yum Brands. You have to send it to Mr. Brands now.
Or Mr. Yum.
No one's name is Yum.
You don't know that?
Yeah, someone's name is, but not someone that owns that. So that's Thomas' shout out. Mr. Bell, rise from the grave and do what you did all those years ago. Make people happy with your taco-like dishes.
Now, I thought... I'm sitting here looking at this Yum Brands, and I could have thought that Burger King and Taco Bell were all owned by the same company.
No, it's Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC. That's Yum Brands as I know it.
Oh, okay.
He's also added Long John's and A&W. Now, I can't confirm that as a connoisseur of the other three.
Have you had the mac and cheese bowl from KFC?
I have not.
Oh, my God, man.
Get on that. It's a good call. They already had mac and cheese, and they already had popcorn chicken.
Right.
So it's a good call on their part.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I was a fan of the old bowls, but the mashed potato bowls.
Yeah, I like those.
But let me tell you, that mac and cheese bowl is pretty goddamn good too.
That's Zach's shout out for this week.
That's right. That's right. Mac and cheese bowls are pretty goddamn good.
You're so passionate. I felt like they needed to assign that to Zach. Because while we're shitting on one Yum brand product, let's raise the other up. Put it on a pedestal. That Cheeto chicken they had wasn't worth the fuck, though. So
no, the Cheeto chicken wasn't.
Glad they got this one right.
But the Taco Bell cheddar shell, is it the Cheeto shell or whatever?
The melted cheese chalupa, I think it is.
No. It's something about the shell. It's got cheese in the shell.
Well, they melt it on the outside.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like they take the chalupa shell and they put cheese on it and put it in that salamander and let it just crisp up.
And they make it because it becomes like the whole thing becomes crunchy.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good. I know Thomas is upset, but Mr. Bell's done something pretty special with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem Taco Bell has is the same problem it has every time I go. No tomatoes doesn't mean a fucking thing. And it's starting to chat my ass because every time I go.
You just get tomatoes anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they don't give two shits what I ask for.
Yeah.
Now, they sold the Long Johns, the long slongs. Have you seen, does your Taco Bell have the giant iPad when you walk in? You just have to order by yourself?
It's an option.
Okay. It's pretty much, they're like forcing you around here.
No, they have it as an option.
When I went in the other day, there was no one manning the counter. People waiting in line, and those machines were just sitting there. And finally, someone walked up and said, "You have to use the machines. If you need help, let me know." And I was like, "Wow, wow!" Yeah. Now the machines give you more freedom. You can add and take away a lot easier.
Oh yeah, for all the good it does you.
But it doesn't matter because they just make it however they want anyway.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I'll tell you what else. The Taco Bell here. It's pissing me off because I know it's a Taco Bell thing, but it's worse at this one that I go to. Way, way too much lettuce.
Oh, heavy on the lettuce.
Real heavy on the lettuce. And I will say I went to another one time and I didn't have any ground beef in my taco, but I had lettuce and sour cream and cheese.
You had like
I took that shit back.
You had one of them healthy soft tacos.
Sure.
Did you see how low those Taco Bell mounted theirs like on the front of their counter?
Yeah.
You got to be dick level to order.
Oh, that one's not. Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, ours doesn't look like that.
That's like that's a children's menu.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I like Taco Bell. I like KFC. Pizza Hut, to me, the least valuable of the three on the Yum brands.
Yeah, me too. But I'm kind of a pizza snob because I live up here in New York. So
yeah, I'm not a pizza snob, but Taco Bell or Pizza Hut's just not the best pizza.
It is not. No,
so.
Domino's, of the chains, Domino's has probably grown to be the best.
I like Domino's okay. I like Domino's before they switched up their recipe. I'll say that. Old Domino's better than new Domino's for me.
Oh, I did not. No, I like new Domino's. I did not like old Domino's. They were my least favorite. I would eat Papa John's. I would eat cardboard with tomato sauce.
Papa John's my least favorite.
Cardboard and ketchup.
I would take the hard stance that Little Caesars is better pizza than Papa John's.
Oh, yeah.
So,
100%.
I don't hate Little Caesars.
I don't either.
A lot of people like to shit on them. I'm like, yeah, it's a $5 pizza, bro.
It's a $5 pizza, though.
What'd you think you were going to get?
$5 large pizza.
Yeah, what'd you think it was going to be?
Eight pieces. Where else are you going to get 8 slices of pizza for $5?
They did the absolute best they could do with what they were working with. It's $5.
And they roll with it, let me tell you.
And let me get some of that ICB, too. Italian cheesy bread up on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
I like Little Caesars. They're a national treasure.
They are. I will eat a Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah. You and I we ate many a Little Caesar pizza when we worked together.
Yeah, we did.
So we get 2 hot and readies and fuck them up while you drink a gallon of Mountain Dew. And smoke 4 cigarettes because you just hated your body. Every day. That would be a good diet for Dan. Every day. 2 1-liter Mountain Dews, pack of cigarettes, and then we get a hot and ready.
Boom.
Yep. Bad.
Done.
Bad.
Look at that.
That's it for the shout-outs. Remember,
living my best life.
Zach loves Zach loves the mac and cheese bowls. Thomas is fucking pissed at Mr. Bell.
Yep. So Yum Brands is kind of
one cancels the other out, so we're still fine with Yum Brands.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for us. If you want to follow us on the social medias, I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan. Gerald is at Hoffman Show. Together we're at Game_Stitch and probably haven't tweeted in 6 months. So
no, it's been a while. Let's see.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's not good. Look at that mac and cheese bowl looking.
That's the mac and cheese bowl, man.
Was it that cheesy? Because that's a good looking amount of cheese.
I'm going to say yeah.
That's a lot of cheese. That looks great.
Because they do put shredded cheddar on top of the actual mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm. It is just the popcorn chicken, though, right?
Yeah.
They have a spicy one, though.
You can get it either way.
Yeah, I would get it spicy. I like it spicy. If you want to support us, patreon.com/GameStitch. If you don't remember, this week you're telling somebody in the legal system about us. So let them know if you're on the free tier and you're cheap as fuck. And that's fine. That's fine. You got to save your money for those hot and readies. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
No hate here.
Saving up for that mac and cheese bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it part of the, do they have like a $5 fill up with the mac and cheese bowl?
Yep, they sure do.
Okay.
It's that, a cookie and a drink.
Of course they do, because they're fucking powerful. They get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be episode 352. We're going to be back next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.